Hey everybody, I'm James, your DM for this Dungeons & Dragons adventure, Rumen Bard, a tale of following a band of bards in a punk band through the world of Adenac.
Hey everyone, I'm Bron-Vito. I play the role of Wylee Coyote. I'm a calico tabaxi with emerald green eyes. I'm the lead guitarist who plays the shamisen. I have a deep respect, also hatred of water. I do not like it at all.
Hi everyone, I'm Chelsea. I play Mercury Stardust, lead singer of Rumen Bards, and a wood elf with an obsession with music and a desire for fame. She can't accept anything less than being a world-famous bard, her name on everyone's lips, if only she had the drive to actually make it happen.
I'm Tyler, and my character is Judge. He's a Warforged fighter that was created 300 years ago as part of an elite trio who were the boogeymen of a conflict during that time. Judge doesn't consciously remember his past and woke up one day with a much sunnier personality than his terrifying visage would suggest. After waking up and shaking the moss off, he wandered to the nearest town and made an impression on Mercury with her punk tastes. Mercury's mother, Poise, accepted Judge for his usefulness and kindness, and he has been in that town ever since.
The morning sun is vomiting in hard through this window. You guys, it's bright in here. You know, you're covering your eyes.
I want to power on just as we start.
Yeah. So like you're starting to stand up. Judge is starting to stand up. His like legs are popping out of like the like holes that are built for his legs to retract.
I'm just like a turtle.
Yeah, you're basically a boulder turtle. And you're coming out and like your face and then like the built-in like stone made like bassinet mask is there.
That's what they're called, yeah.
Yeah, bassinet.
Do you know the Marvel's character Crossbones?
No. Is he a pirate?
No, he was in Civil War. Actually, perfect. So that's what I imagine his face looks like.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Yeah.
But then also the big,
kind of like the Punisher bulletproof mask.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So
a ballistic.
Just very, very, just bad, evil looking.
Yeah.
But
and so, do you have red eyes or like glowy red eyes and mouth or glowy blue eyes and mouth?
Do they glow? Do they have to glow?
They
I imagine they don't.
Well, I would imagine like as you turn on, they kind of like brighten.
Okay. How about orange?
Orange? Done. Okay. Mercury is still like kind of asleep. She's like wrapped up in like a big cocoon of blankets that she stole from the other of you two.
That's what I did.
You know.
So I power on.
Yeah, and you're standing up and you see like Mercury, like she looks like she might actually be stuck in this cocoon of blankets. Because they're so tattered that as she rolled around in her sleep, they just kind of tied themselves like headphones into your pocket.
That's happened to me before.
Yeah.
I have woken up stuck.
Yeah. Wylee is over, like kind of sitting in the sun bathing himself.
Rolling around.
Going around. The back, his belly is exposed. And he's kind of like next to you, but like he knows better than to be underneath you because you've stepped on him one too many times as you powered on and like...
And that damn 8-inch bird keeps on attacking.
So like,
we do not like each other.
8-inch, your pet stone pecker, comes out of his little crevice on your back as you wake up, and he kind of flutters around the room for a little bit. He seems kind of disgusted with the way you're living, and like he lands on you, and he kind of like.
And we don't live near a quarry, so there's no stone to go past.
Yeah, exactly.
Wylee notices 8-inch and gets into a pouncing stance.
8-inch immediately sees this as he's very used to it and kind of like hops to the other shoulder, but like as he's like pushing off dusk with a dusk, he's pushing dusk away.
I mean, it's morning, it's coming.
Yeah, he's like pushing away like some stone and like some of the like glass and stuff that you broke and have landed on top of Judge overnight as he like hops to the other shoulder out of your pouncing like, zone.
Wylee sits and waits.
and not soon after, you kind of, as you guys are like roaming around and like Stardust wakes up and she's just like or Mercury Stardust, yeah, you wake up and you're just kind of like stuck, and all the rest of them can kind of hear is just like as you've got like this like makeshift like sleeping bag gag in your mouth that you can't get out because you can't get your hands up to your mouth to move it out.
I had the kinkiest dream last night. It
was crazy.
That I was being tied up and gagged.
It was like real life. Could have swore. But you hear a knock on the door, just like a...
Wylee runs.
To where?
Just around in a circle.
Okay, dog.
So it's like, I don't know where cats go when they run. They just disappear. All right.
It's called the cat dimension.
That's where he went. He's like, "Phew, gone. Don't know where he went."
Zooms into... You guys hear, like, falling glass and stuff. The tabaxi. Just you're like...
So neurotic. Because I think I wake up and
Start
walk over to
picking
the
up.
door, open it up, and I assume it's her mom, and she puts an apron on me, just like every morning. And then I go wake Stardust up. I pull her, I lift her, all the blankets up, and she
like,
flumps out.
You lift her up and she just rolls out. And just like...
I say, "Okay, good morning. Let's get
it's
ready
more like-
for the day."
I was gonna say that's your character voice. Hey guys.
No, okay. I haven't. I need to go watch Fargo, but I'm gonna make him have a Minnesotan accent.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, good morning.
Yeah.
eh?"
Okie dokie.
If it's Minnesotan accent, I mean, just talk normal.
Just
Yeah,
talk
you
normal.
have
I
it.
mean, you have a Minnesota accent. I don't have. I meant a
Don't you
Fargo,
know?
Minnesota accent.
Don't you know?
Don't
there,
you
there
know?
you go.
I actually
Don't
say
you
okie
know?
dokie and stuff like that all the
Okie
time.
I say
Don't
you
you know?
betcha.
I-
constantly.
You betcha.
The casserole is ready, eh?
Yeah.
And then ope. You gotta do a little
Oh,
ope.
oh,
Just
oh,
try,
oh,
I could just imagine you like trying to shimmy to the side, but you're this huge boulder and you're just like, oh, gotta get past me.
oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me.
As
There.
you're like breaking holes in the wall, oh,
Yeah.
the hallway's too thin for you, so you're like breaking it away as you're like wedging.
Oh, whenever you pick something up, it's oof.
You take a really strong hit. Oh yeah.
Oh. So I power on and I say, "Okay, I'll get the door."
You're like, oh, be right there, eh?
Yeah, you're right there. Okay.
So you're going
But
straight.
I legitimately think she puts
yeah.
an apron
Every
on me.
morning.
One of
Because-
those beautiful
So
lacy
one of the
French
ways
maid
one of the
ones.
ways that you guys kind of pay your room and bard is you assist with like just general like dusting and sweeping and stuff in
Well,
the
and
cabin.
I go pick up with
In a-
one arm all the logs for the fireplace.
You like chop all the wood and stuff.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like Mercury is like she's usually like sulking around, like slinking in the shadows, avoiding work.
Yeah.
And then the Tabaxi is usually making more work for you. He'll like get in there, the door will like the bell like ding 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 will jiggle, and he'll like get spooked and like run into the kitchen and like knock over the
I'll clean it up.
Wylee
Oh
tries
dear.
best.
Yeah,
Wylee tries best.
Wylee did nothing wrong.
Was it wrong, Wylee?
That's what I want. So I have like the most terrifying visage, but the nicest voice.
Yeah.
You should have just the deepest voice.
Yeah, he's just got this like.
Well, yeah, you know, I kind of got like a little
like if you
mix
take an
between
asshole of a
Khajiit.
cat and turn
Well,
it into a
no,
human
yeah,
voice.
the voice I kind of do is kind of the like a mix between Khajiit and then my
Khajiit has wares.
then my yes voice. So it's, yeah, so it's yes, yeah. Wylee didn't do anything.
You open up the door, and standing in the doorway is Poise. Poise Stardust, Mercury's mother. She's
Well, who there, Mrs. Stardust? That's your last name, right?
Yeah.
Who do you actually go by?
I probably go by Mercury.
yeah.
Mercury. So I unfold her. Wake up, Mercury! Your mom's here.
Yeah. And she's standing there, she's got a broom in one hand, and she's like, "Did you sleep well last night?"
You know I don't sleep, Mrs. Stardust. Okay.
Oh, I don't know what you call it, but why is she gonna say that? Alright, she's gonna be super Canadian Minnesota, like Lake of the Woods, Minnesota.
Maybe-
Oh, I don't know what you call it, dear, but you gotta get up now. And she's got a broom and she hands it to you, and she's got her apron, she kinda like reaches over you. And like she's got long black hair, like below her butt. She's probably like 5'5". She's petite, but she's got muscle tone to her because she's, prior to
Right.
you coming along, she was doing this tavern thing alone while raising a weird child. And also, like, the Tabaxi was around a lot longer too, so like cleaning up these big
So
pots
would
and
you
cakes.
would you say that she can hold 100 pounds pretty well?
Easily.
Okay, Wylee goes and jumps on her
Uh,
and starts purring.
very prepared for this, as this is kind of like a morning ritual, a daily ritual.
Yeah, a 6'7" cat jumps
Yeah.
on her.
Yeah, she kind of like crouches down like she's getting ready to tackle something because she hears the dishes in the distance, just kind of like the scattering, and then like she sees your eyes peek around the corner with like zoomies in them all wide and your pupils huge.
very bright green.
Bright
eyes.
green with big black pupils because
By the
they're
way-
in like the dark part of the house
Yeah.
where all the mold is.
By the way, I
Where all the mold is.
your guys' mold museum.
haven't completely decided what type of fur, but I think I'm leaning towards calico.
Calico.
That's totally
I
chill.
love it.
Calico with very bright green eyes.
Yeah. And so
you
she
should
like
be a
she prepares herself
flamethrower.
for this and like she leans forward so she can like handle the blow, and you just come
And I get
flying
the
through.
collar ready.
Yeah. You've got like
Spritz the
A
bottle
cattle
of
prod.
water, the spray
a
bottle.
pet control collar
Yeah,
like
just-
a rod. Like ka-ching! Or she's ready and she's got her long black hair and it's kind of like draping around her and she's got her apron on as well and it's got some holes but you can see she's patched it up over the course of the night and she's got a youthful look to her, but you can tell she's in her 30s and she's been single for a long time and she's been taking care. Oh, hold up,
Is she in her 30s?
she's
You said-
in her.
She's a lot older than
they're-
30.
She's in
no.
her 600s, and
She's in her youthful, but
she's
worn
in her
600s.
600s.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Wiley's
Glasses.
24. He might be going after him.
But being an elf,
Glasses
she's
over.
super she's very
elves
more.
don't,
She's
yeah,
pretty.
elves don't
She's
grow.
very
She's
youthful.
she's
she's got
gorgeous. That's where I
bright-
got my looks from.
Bright pink amethyst eyes.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
Her name is
Poise.
Poise Stardust.
Is it spelled poise like poise?
Yeah,
Like the most important
P-O-I-S-E.
stat in Dark Souls?
Yeah, exactly.
I kill her. Oh, I was gonna say.
Ready for
so
this
I-
as part of the morning ritual as well.
Mom.
She immediately grabs the tabaxi by the tail, turns it around, and just dragon slams the tabaxi. No,
I was gonna say, I put his age as 300 because the conflict was 300 years ago.
right.
Does that count good or
That's
longer
good for
ago?
now. We'll work
Okay.
with that.
Wiley's only 24, so I mean.
Yeah. But
I'm-
surprisingly, Wylee has been friends with Stardust a lot longer than you guys have known
He's
Judge.
been like my pet cat friend forever.
That's what I
Yeah,
was thinking. I think
basically.
we treat him like a pet
Yeah,
rather than
yeah,
a friend.
more than like a party member.
Yeah.
Which is why every
Cat.
time he's like, I'm gonna go kill that, you guys are like, oh, that's
Okay,
cute.
that's cute.
And then I just start a war.
He brings you like pieces of the people he assassinates.
Oh,
but,
it's like nice.
Yeah, it's like when a cat brings you a dead mouse and you're just like, oh, you tap him on the head like,
Oh,
good,
thank you, hon.
good boy, and then you just kind of throw it out back.
I'll be like, I'm gonna put that on Twitter, and I like
Yeah,
take
yeah.
a picture and attach it to a bird and send it off.
You draw the
I'm
picture.
gonna tweet this.
Holding pigeon out into like the town crier. The town crier's like, Nuke!
New tweet.
You've had like the town guard at your house so many times because they're like, so this missing person's you just oh, I don't know, they just showed up, eh? Why are you ever So anyway, Poise, her eyes are ready and she's used to it, and she's got this youthful feel about her, so when you come running and charging at her, she like braces for it and she grabs you and she kind of like spins around with you out of the door, and she sets you down on the ground and like she just kind of pets you on the head while she talks with Judge.
Wiley purrs and goes.
I'm Batman.
No,
I'm Catman.
Morning, mama boys.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
That's not what I sound like, rock face.
And so she's just like petting you on the head and like kind of scritching your ears and stuff and like brushing your whiskers because like as you ran into the kitchen you got a whole bunch of cobwebs and stuff.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
just absently like picking it off of you like because this is normal. This is every day for her.
I think you'll need a bath soon, pretty soon, Ms. Stardust. now, Wiley.
Okay, so for the day today, kids, it's your big day. You're leaving.
Mom,
You're
you're
leave-
embarrassing me.
No,
God.
no, your old mama she really doesn't want to see you go. Oh, but I know you got to. You're in your 20s now. You're almost a toddler in elf years. How old is your character?
I believe I'm 176.
Oh, you're a little bit of a millennial. You're 1/10 a millennial.
Classic millennials.
Classic millennials. It's time for you to leave the. What the fudge? that door farted.
Door farts.
Door farts. Everybody gets a critical hit.
It's my absentee father.
Yeah.
Speaking out of my life again.
Yeah, that was the door. He was
Fucking brutal.
the door just swings closed. Oh, I think I just heard the door. I gotta run back up front. I guess we're opening early today. So, I'm just make sure you come back soon, cause I want you well rested before the show and before you gotta leave. It's gonna be a lot harder than you think. Back in my touring days, I was the same. I was young. I was spry. I just thought I could do it, and I did it. And then I had you, and we opened up this tavern.
I feel like this is a discussion.
Yeah, we all kind of.
Wait a minute. Did you have? Was there something that happened on tour that I was not privy to?
Well, we never
How do
really
you think
talked
you're
about your
born?
father, and too much, and maybe we'll have this conversation another day.
You've been saying that for the
His
last
name
50
is
years.
Dorfert.
You're 27. You don't know she's been saying that for 50 years.
50 years of cat years.
I'm too old for this shit.
It's 27 and Cat, you're geriatric. You can barely walk, let alone run.
All right, dear Wylee, time for your medicine.
You get a syringe
Yeah.
injector and you spray milk at him, but it's vitamin milk.
Yeah.
And it's all goopy and gross. It gets all over his whiskers and his mouth.
He starts foaming.
And he's just like,
Yeah.
and he
Clumps of
spits it
hair
back up.
falling off
He
his
chews on
body.
some grass so he can cough it back out. He just launches a hairball. No,
We're gonna script so many stealth rolls for you coughing up hairballs.
Okay, so it's I'm just having a bit of an emotional day. I got a case of the vapors, so I'm just gonna go now. There's some patrons that probably need help. I heard that door was really loud and long-winded. So
It does
I'm
get
gonna go.
drafty down there.
I just, get dressed. Don't forget to wash off in the well out front, and the outhouse was just cleaned. So make sure you're ready, and don't forget to go see Billy. He's a nice green fella.
Okay, thanks, Mom.
Now, Mrs. Sturt, you know that ain't appropriate.
Oh,
Those
I'm
ones don't
sorry.
say ain't, do they?
I'm used to the days when we could call goblins green and dark elves dark. Sorry,
Back
just
in those racist days.
just an old-fashioned elf.
You millennials.
Just an old-fashioned elf. You just, back in my day, we weren't all so privy. They called us the skinny fair folk, us elves, and we called the humans the hairy uggers. They were hairy and ugly.
And uggers.
Them uggers. Those
uggers.
dirty uggers.
God, that sounds pretty pejorative.
Those dirty uggers taking our jobs.
Oh, and then speaking of
took
taking
our
our
lands.
jobs, our quarries were great until, the dwarves moved in. Now, did I ever tell you about the time when
Okay, there, Mrs. Stardust. We gotta get
We're
going
good.
now.
We're good.
Oh,
I have a
We're
lot
good.
of stuff to take care of.
Okay, well, don't forget, you gotta sweep out the front stones, the stepping stones up to the lead. They're getting real dusty, and, I feel kind of bad about this. I didn't have time to get to it, but last night, we, that big, tall fella, the half-orc who comes in here, Groth?
Oh, sure.
Well, after you had gone to bed for the night, Groth, he was stumbling something real good. He was out for a rip, and then he ripped one right out into the front of the bar. There's just vomit everywhere. I'm gonna need you to
Oh,
go clean
boy.
those stones off.
Okay.
He just can't hold his liquor like he used to, eh?
I'll take care of it, dear Mrs. Stardust.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the casserole on the stove, and we're gonna have ourselves a good day. This hot dish is gonna be so good.
I thought it was
I would imagine, Mrs. Stardust.
Okay, so you see Poise kind of walk away, and you see her kind of wiping her eyes from behind, and you hear some muffled girl, my baby girl, she's leaving home. She's gonna come back pregnant just like that. She looks back over her shoulder to you, and you see this kind of twinkle in her eyes, which is half like, oh, don't get pregnant, and half like, oh, bring
Grandbabies.
grandbabies. Gotta have some little toddler seeds running around, some little elven plant seeds to plant in the garden out front.
Oh dear God.
I look very dejected and sad because she doesn't care about me, apparently.
She turns around, she's like, oh, hey, oh, one moment, I almost forgot. And she, like, pulls out a mouse that, like, she must have, like, caught in one of the traps, and she just, like, throws it in the air for you as she, like, walks away.
I catch it with my actual hand.
Just, I don't eat mice. She doesn't know that. You're a house cat to her. You're just a huge effing house cat.
I'm not
to
a
her.
fucking cat. What is wrong with your mom?
She pulls out a dire rat. Yeah. This is more your size.
Oh, it's like the size of her.
Yeah.
You're like, I thought she was pregnant. She's just carrying like a toddler carrier and pulls out this massive, still like chomping dire rat. His eyes are still red and foaming, and like its tail is the size of her wrist. And she's like wiggling around for you, and then throws it, and it's more of a toss because she can't throw it, and it's just like bump on the ground and then like scurries away.
When will she learn? I do not eat mice. They taste nasty. Birds, on the other hand, and he just stares at 8-inch.
Oh, that's a funny one there, Wylee. Okay.
All right, so she roams off.
I'm looking partially mortified and like disgusted.
I find, just like every morning, I go find your clothes. Like, all right, there. What's your character's name again?
Mercury.
Mercury.
I'm about to call her Mercy. Don't know why.
Mercy.
Mercury. Okay, there, Mercury. Here's your clothes again. I'm gonna go get started on the front porch
Wylee heads downstairs to start his chores.
of hunting the mice.
Yeah, like, I don't eat mice. What's your job? Hunting mice.
I practice your assassin skills.
I firm in control.
I hunt them. I don't eat them.
This is
I
why
catch and relief. This is strictly humane.
Strictly.
This is why she's so much easier on them for room and board, because she views you as a house cat, as a pet, and not as a third person living in her guest house. And so, like, when you knock over pots, she still pulls out the broom and, like, chases it with them and stuff. She's like, bad kitty, bad kitty. Boy, that darn kitty, he's getting up to no good again.
We're gonna have to get that one neutered.
Oh.
They always calm down afterwards.
Are you declawed?
Are you declawed?
Wylee takes this shamisen and just starts playing a very sad song. It's like, dun, 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 dun.
I can't wait for us to get into a fight with some archers so you can finally get your shots.
Good night, I'm out. You guys need to go get to the local alchemist for his detemper shots. Yeah. So when you get a disease, do they bring you to the vet or the cleric?
I like to imagine
There's a cleric vet for pets that are sentient.
I like to imagine that Mercury would take me to a cleric because she realizes I'm a person, but boys would take me to a vet.
You're like in the waiting room on a leash. There's like
And I'm trying to like get away. Like I need to go to the cleric.
And judge is on the fence based on your behavior that day.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you look like you kind of want to go to the vet today. You guys kind of gather up things. You're getting the tavern ready and whatnot. You're dressed and kind of slinking around, trying to avoid
I'm secretly
any work.
drinking.
Yeah,
Back room.
you're already drinking. You're too young in elf age to be drinking, but you're doing it anyway.
Because I'm a rebel.
Yeah, you're punk, and you're off like chasing mice out of the
Hey, I'm
basement.
punk too, okay?
Oh. Listen to our new song called "The Casserole is Burnt." Now, Fred, Uncle, get out. It goes something like this. You've got your own rendition of like Black Flag songs, except they're not called Black Flag in this world. They're just called Flag. Because all the flags are black because they were burned.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Flag.
We have flag songs.
When punks claim to be anarchists, they actually are anarchists. They come from like pirate communes and shit.
No, the punks that are anarchists are actually in favor of governments in this world.
Yeah.
We need the ruling class. The proletariat should stand down. You You guys sing a bunch of like Republican punk songs.
Close those borders.
Kick out the elves. You guys are skinhead punk shit.
I don't have any hair.
No, we're going back to real punk.
All I am is hair.
Damn.
When you play shit.
Yeah.
I just curl up on his head.
Okay, so speaking of our costumes, we have a bunch of stuff to do.
We got things to get done? Oh, crap. That's right.
Yeah, so a couple hours have gone by. You've done your chores for the day. You've cleaned it out. You chopped a little bit of wood. You brought some in. You knew about this yesterday, so you chopped extra wood, so there was less work to do today. You even set one up, kind of like in the dirt as a scratching post for
Wylee walks out of the basement with like 5 cages in his hand that just have all rats, and he walks outside and puts them towards the.
What if you brought them to the other
The
tavern?
other tavern.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I go to the other tavern
Release them.
and I
This is the catch
take
and
them out.
release.
That sounds like a stealth roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Just to start it off.
You're stealth. Are you gonna try stealthing through town, or just walk blazingly until you get
No,
close?
I like to think that I do this all the time.
Yeah.
So I just naturally just walk across there, not carrying, and then when I get close to
You
the
kinda, like,
tavern, I
sneak- All right,
sneak.
give me a stealth roll.
18.
Ooh.
And do you
No,
have
19.
19.
Starting off strong.
So you walk up to the closest tavern, which is your biggest competition. What did I name your? Oh, the tavern. Duh. I was like, why do I have just the tavern? Written down?
It's the tavern, the tavern.
The tavern, exactly.
And this other one's called the bar.
Yeah. So you walk over to the bar.
Rivals the bar.
Not to be confused with the bar in your tavern, but the bar, the tavern.
And the local patrons of that, they say, let's go raise the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Wylee gets them confused all the time. They say, go to the bar and cause havoc, and I just look at the bar, I'm like, I'm
And then you
already
just give
here.
case of the zoomies.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, they tell me to do it, I do it.
So you're sneaking up, but I want you to roll a perception check really quick.
15.
All right. You smell a kind of strong scent in the air that seems to almost be like it's getting you high.
It's called catnip.
Oh,
no.
I follow it.
You follow the scent and you realize that at the bar they're preparing meals for the day. And in the kitchen door in the back, it seems like they have uprooted a few local stocks of catnip and they're brewing it into tea.
Fuck.
I like go up like underneath the the bar, and I kind of just poke my head over slightly, just.
There's a bundle of catnip right in front of your face.
I take it and I run out.
Roll a sleight of hand check. And what are you doing with the mice in the meantime?
Yeah.
I just drop them.
Good stealth
Cages
roll.
and all.
I'm so sneaky I can drop metal cages with rats in them.
You got 16 for sleight of hand.
All right, so I'm going to say that you attempted to sleight of hand the mice down before just dropping them.
I think it'd be funny. I'd just be like,
So you set down a bunch of these mice cages with just dire rats and mice and
and
stuff
I
in there.
open them up.
And you open them up
Yes.
sneakily.
Yes.
And you
Well,
grab
it's
this
just like
bundle
a
of
button
catnip.
to press.
Yeah, you grab this bundle of catnip and you book it up. And are you stealthily running out?
Yes.
Okay, roll one more stealth check.
17.
Cannot be
Perfect.
stopped.
Yeah, you're a cat on a mission.
Get it all out of the exposition.
Yeah, so that when we come
It's
to
only
combat,
useless rolls that
Yeah.
I'm basically Beverly of this campaign.
So you grab this bundle of catnip and you start booking it. And you run right out of the front door of this tavern and you get into the street and you realize really quickly that it's going to be really hard to sneak because it's noon, or it's a few hours after noon, it's about 3-4 o'clock, and the town is bustling with people. And you're out of the tavern already, but from behind you, you hear, "Hey, where'd our last bundle of nip go?"
I like to think that when Wylee runs, he's on all fours.
Yep. So it's like in your mouth.
Yeah, it's in my mouth, and I'm just
I think you need to make like Constitution saving throws to see if you just roll on the ground.
and I'm gonna try to weave and dodge between the people like cats do. It's
All
like,
right, so you're weaving through like their legs, attempting to trip them while acting like you're not.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes.
So as you're doing this, you're just salivating over this catnip in your mouth, and it's getting stronger and stronger, and you've made it about 2 blocks, and I need you to roll a Constitution save.
So we're just gonna be totally high for our final show. Damn.
20.
Okay,
Oh.
so you
Oh.
resist the effects of the catnip, and you keep ducking and weaving, and you make it back to the tavern. And by the time you get back there, you're pretty winded, and this entire time you're breathing super heavily and salivating, and so like this catnip, you've been breathing in like on your nose the entire time you've been running, and you kind of start to break down a bit.
And I see it. I was like, "Oh, what you got there, Whitey?"
I
Oh.
start rubbing up against Relic. That's what he calls him.
So you call Judge Relic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you start rubbing up against Judge, and the catnip is like shaving off against his rough, like stony surface, but like digging itself in his grooving and everything. And like you can't figure it out. Like, where's your catnip going?
I start biting
Oh,
the
I just
stone.
washed myself off last week, dear Wylee. Oh, God.
I do the thing that cats do where they rub them and then they just flip a switch and start attacking.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so you're doing this. He's still cleaning up some vomit, and you're kind of hiding through. And
I'm in the back drinking with a couple of my friends who aren't you guys.
Poise walks out,
Antisocial as hell.
and she just looks. Oh, I think that'll be good. You better go find Billy and get your food and everything in order before you guys leave, eh?
Yeah, I think so, Mrs.
Poise.
This is fucker.
No, the last name is Stardust, son.
That's the fellas over at the bar.
Yes, that's over at the bar, the tavern.
The bar, the tavern.
Yeah, not the
The
tavern,
establishment is the other one down the street.
Yeah, the establishment, the tavern.
The establishment, the tavern, the bar, the bar.
Not to be confused with the establishment, the punk club down the other road.
All right, dear Mrs. Stardust, I'll go get Mercury.
Okay.
Or send her out and I'll detach myself.
Oh, yeah, I'll go get her. So she like walks into the back. She's pretty familiar with your shenanigans.
I'm hiding bottles, pretending like adding like urine.
You're just stalking them.
Adding urine and water and just random shit into
And-
it to seem like they're okay.
Oh, yeah.
They have
They're
not
so
been
okay.
touched
I've
yet.
peed in them. and she's familiar with your shenanigans, and so she kind of like
Looking like I'm looking for something lost. Like, oh
yeah,
god,
and like she
yeah,
knows you're
where-
drinking, but
where-
she goes out of her way to make it kind of obvious she's approaching to give you the chance to hide things from her, so she can kind of like maintain that innocent child of mine view in her mind without having to confront it.
Yeah.
And so like she like walks up, kind of clomping her feet, and she like bumps into a corner, and she's like, "Oh, geez, that corner just jumped out and bit me.
Who put that there?
Who put that? Oh, oof, oof." And then she like opens up the door to like the cellar area where you're.
And then closes it and then opens
Yeah.
Man, this thing's jammed or something.
Oh no, the door must be locked. And she like reaches for her keys, and you hear kind of like jiggling in it, and like the door's already open, but
Yeah.
she's playing with the keys.
Meanwhile, there's this super obvious like clattering of like
Yeah.
glass everywhere.
I just
Is that little kitty in there again?
from the other room she just hears an insane amount of noise and then Judge yelling at Wylee to settle down.
All right, dear Whitey. Okay, that's quite enough. All right, yeah. You're gonna scratch at my armor, dear.
And like 8 Inch is like hiding in his hole, but you just hear
Yeah.
just getting really pissed because 8 Inch is like tapping on his hole and like occasionally peeking his eyes out and like moving his head around real quick and blinking, like looking at freaking Wylee underneath you, just getting really pissed that you're giving Wylee attention now.
Yeah.
And so
We have a
It's a
rivalry.
struggle.
your mom walks in, she's like, you're like obviously standing there, and she's just pretending like she doesn't see you, and she like turns, she's like, oh, how you doing there, little Mercury? What are you doing in here?
I lost my shoe.
Oh, she like looks down at your your shoes you're obviously wearing, and she's like, oh, well,
Looks like you found it there, huh?
looks like you found it. Well, that's a good thing you found it because it's time to get going. She's just, like she's fighting back the tears and like biting her lip and just like, oh, it's time to get going.
If anything happens to this town, I'm gonna kill everyone.
She's just so pure.
Yeah, I can't let that happen.
She's a cinnamon roll. It's time to get going. Got her.
God, it's that time where shit. I gotta. Oh my God,
Oh,
Where
here,
are the other two?
You better take this, and she like pulls out like a handkerchief out of her like apron pocket, and she's
Oh
like,
God,
you got
it's
a
gonna
little.
be one of those.
It looks like a
Oh,
little.
no,
are you
I'm-
drooling?
ah.
And she, like, taps on you, and it's
Good.
like obviously like purple. It's wine.
Yeah.
And she like looks at her ring, and she's like, oh, that's a weird thing for people to be colored.
You must be eating
That
grapes or
must have
something.
been
Huh?
from the.
You got some of my
Grape
mulberry
juice?
pie.
Yeah.
You got a little.
I haven't
pie
made
on
that since last week, though.
You've been hoarding. That's where the rest of that pie. I was blaming it on that little Wylee kitty.
You know what they say? My dad was a dragon.
No, they don't. But they can say whatever. Maybe dragging his foot a little bit. You know, he never got that ring.
Beautiful.
So you better get going now. Shoo shoo before your mama has another cry fit.
Yep, I'm getting the hell out of here.
She's
then.
like, oh. Like the door closes behind you and you just hear, oh, my baby girl.
As I'm hauling ass.
You just hear
Just
like
running.
breaking down. You hear like fall to the floor. And she's
I'm running
like-
so hard right
just
now.
like you hear the telltale sign of a cork popping out of a bottle. Glug, glug, glug. Oh, my poor baby. Just drowning in sorrows.
And then being slightly awkward because that might have been the one I urinated in.
Just right as you leave the door to the tavern. Oh, this tastes like it's gone bad.
Hey, I thought it got better with age.
You
Weird.
just hear her yell out the door. Hey, Pedro, there's some wine in here that's gone bad. We should check our stock. Oh, and she drinks some more.
Shit.
When we meet up, Mercury sees Judge just standing there, and then Wiley's just splatted on Judge's head, and with his eyes just the pupils just dilated, like he's having a really bad trip. Just
Like claws in the front and the back of his skull.
yeah, just
I calmed you down by detaching I have like a mooring star or whatever that comes from here, but I just, instead of holding it, I just swing it.
Yeah.
It's
He's
like,
just watching the ball
Yeah.
and like swatting at it gently,
Yeah.
but like way too high to like contact.
Yeah.
So he's
you know,
like,
it's like
you gotta like
it's like
kind of
5
stop him while he's falling.
Yeah.
It's like 5 feet away, and it's just
Yeah, it's like cats when they do that lazy paw where they like
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
something.
yeah.
They're just too tired or too stoned or too lazy
Yeah.
to do anything.
Yeah.
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 Oh, hey
Just-
there, Mercury. You ready to go see Billy?
Oh shit, what happened to Wiley?
Well, I think he went over to the bar.
It's
He's
so
out there.
beautiful out today. Oh.
Wiley, are you gonna be okay there, little man?
Oh, I have an idea. Let's give him his bath while he can't think.
That's a good idea, actually. It's kind of starting to smell.
He just smells.
Yeah.
He's just because he's sentient. He always knows when you guys are trying to give him bath. So it's been months,
Yeah.
and he's like too prideful of a cat, so he doesn't like himself clean.
But now finally he's catatonic.
He's catatonic.
There is a well right in front of the tavern.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Throw him
clean
in.
him.
It's like
Throw him
it's
in.
like 10 feet away from where you're standing.
Deal.
Dunk him.
I'm carrying him over.
Wiley just,
Dunk him.
he's just so out of it. He's just like, oh, clouds. Oh, they're probably made of cotton candy.
Think of a happy place, Wiley.
Hey, Mercury, you wanna go get some soap?
I could do that, but God, can I not go back in that tavern? 'Cause my mom
There's like a
thinks
bar
there's
of
shit.
soap
Yeah,
that
there
your
we
mom
go.
set out over by
Oh,
the well because
okay.
she told you guys to all like take a bath or whatever, clean up.
Well, screw
So
that.
she
but
set
we'll,
out like
we'll
a
wash
little
him up.
trough and a bucket and soap.
Okay, so I go over and I grab the soap and I pull up some water from the well.
Perfect. All right.
We're gonna full dump it.
All right, I'll hold him down.
Are you going to oppose this? I'm not even
He's
going to.
just sitting there.
You know, I'm just going to have you roll a grapple check just to make sure you don't drop him into the well or something.
All right, here comes Wiley. Just imagine here comes the clouds. Oh, they're washing over you. Grapple, just a strength roll.
yeah.
15.
Okay, so you grapple him easily. Like, you're distracting with the mace with one arm, and then you've got, like, him.
Yeah,
Like,
perfect.
his entire body in your other hand.
Yeah.
And you just like kind of hold him over the bucket, and she's scrubbing him with soap, and you're dunking him, and he's just like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he's even getting into like the motions of making himself clean. And
Oh, that's very good, Whitey.
at one point he looked fluffy, and now he just looks like a drowned rat.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I don't
smells
know. I was
so
thinking
much.
if
You-
I have like exhaust ports, I could like be a blow dryer
Blow
for him.
dryer.
But I don't think I have exhaust ports. Not
You see-
yet.
Dang
You
it.
see Aiden kind of like sit out and like start flapping his wings and
Yeah.
like just like
Yeah.
trying to like
They hate each other, but they respect each other.
No, all right. Here's what happens. I say, "All right, Whitey, hold on to my hands," and I just spin you in circles.
The spin cycle.
I just stand there, and then my hips stay the same. I just
your
spin you
legs
around.
and hips stay the same,
Yeah.
but your upper torso is just spinning.
All you hear is,
All right, perfect. Got you clean.
He's nice. We are
He's
so
all like air
ready.
puff dried, so
Yeah.
he's
We
even
are
like
so-
twice as big
Yeah.
as normal, and like he's still just
We are
super
so-
stoked.
we
he's
are
still
ready.
tripping hard, too.
He's still tripping.
We gotta soak
We are
you
so
up.
ready, minus the fact that Wiley's still tripping balls.
You're drunk, he's high.
Yeah.
Wiley's the only responsible one in the party.
No.
I mean,
We
it's
are
Judge.
official.
Except
we are
I'm not smart
official.
enough to be
Yeah.
responsible.
You're responsible by accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're always like, I'm so punk, I'm gonna do something sweet, and then it turns into being like, you get distracted and you're like, oh, but this rock over here is uneven. I better fix that. And then behind you, somebody like takes off the jump you were about to take and they like break their legs.
All right, let's head over to Billy. Or I guess we can go get rations. Where are we getting rations from?
Well, it is a large town, so
Yeah,
there is a
there's
few
a lot
general
of different
goods
places.
vendors.
Yeah, there's
What I forgot to do.
there's this one guy though who runs a shop and he's kind of hot. So like maybe we could go.
You have a crush
in-
there, little
in-
miss.
No, I'm just stating that it would be nice to talk to someone somewhat attractive in this town.
Now, don't you think our pretty kitty here is just cute enough? Look how fluffy
Wiley
he
gives
is.
a really big smile. Just
Oh my god, I have to tweet that.
Yeah.
Let me get a bird.
I just realized the subtle wordplay, and I gotta tweet that, and you send out birds.
You just figured that out.
I know that's the entire basis of the
Oh
platform.
my god.
But earlier I was literally just envisioning carrier pigeons, and I was like carrying scrolls to the town crier. Like, that would be an effective way to tweet something to a larger audience. Just not even factoring in the bird.
See, I just erased all of the soldier stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, soldiers learn how to play games or whatever. I don't think he would have.
Yep. He
And
was
I didn't
too
give him any
autonomous.
money and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I would assume you would still have a little bit of money, though, because
Because we
like
were playing
Poise would be
music. Yeah.
paying you.
We were playing music, man. You
So-
got money.
Oh yeah, I guess
Yeah.
because I don't think she would be paying because
Yeah.
we trade.
Well, she's still like.
I
will
guess
give
she's
you
nice
tips.
enough.
She splits tips with you and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
she's a pure
Okay,
kind
yeah.
soul.
Yeah. My mom's pretty awesome when
I don't-
she's not,
Right.
sobbing like a little bitch and drinking wine
Right.
when we're leaving
Yeah,
the
and she
house.
sobs all the time.
She's-
She's always like,
she's
oh,
very
my little-
emotional."
My little elven princess.
Oh god, sweet
Oof.
Jesus. Somebody
Oof,
save
right in
me.
the fields. Oof.
Right.
So you guys are out.
Soon, my friend. Soon.
You approach the general store. Now, this general store is pretty unremarkable, other than this is the one that you know of that has
Because it's
the
got the hot guy.
attractive
Yeah.
hot guy.
Yeah. Gotta hit that up.
So you walk in, and the doorbell.
Fix my hair, make sure
Yep.
it's
Is
flies
he
out.
in a different kind of band or something like that?
Oh, yeah. This
Yeah,
guy is
he's the
straight
lead
up.
singer
in-
of
like
the
a
other-
folk
he's-
band.
He's so you walk in, and like you two could never figure it out, but
I
He's
think
really
you two had
moody
some
and
good hits
deep.
actually.
yeah, Mercury. Except for the weird country they made up where they came from. What the frick is an iron? The only iron I know is what my sword is made out of, and it's not no land. So you walk in, and like you two never figured it out, but like every time you go in here, freaking Mercury just like she can barely talk. She gets all like bashful and stuff. And behind the counter,
Actually,
is this,
I don't think I said before do you have a crush on it, but I don't think I would make the connection.
You wouldn't have made the connection.
No.
not at all. And standing behind there is just this like prepubescent half elf guy who's like his beard is like super patchy, like it looks like he had chunks ripped out of it, but he's got these bright piercing blue eyes from like his elf side,
Yeah.
and he's like,
so he's a hipster.
No,
hold
he's
up.
a boy band.
He's
Hold
a boy
up.
band.
He's wearing this like flannel shirt and scarf sweater that's like tied around his neck but like low hanging, so it's like.
Now it's summer, dear. What are you wearing that scarf for?
And his hair is like up in a bun, and like he's wearing like skinny jeans but with cowboy boots, and they've ironically got one spur on, but it's not a spur, it's a bottle cap that you can tell he like hastily fashioned himself. And he's wearing like a ring on each of his ring fingers, and they're in like a black necklace. And you like open it up, and like he looks kind of prepubescent because his beard is just crazy, but he's in human years he's probably about 30. He just has never moved out of this town. He's never done anything with his life. They tried really hard to start, like, him and his friends tried really hard to start this, like, service where they walk around town and tell you their opinions on things while handing you, like, green beans. And they called it a podcast.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's so great.
Sorry.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
Oh, jeez. But it always failed, so I mean.
So meta.
Yeah, so meta.
It hurts so bad.
I don't know. I thought he had something going. I
Yeah,
thought it was great.
and
It
like
was
every
good. It
time
was good.
like you walk in, he
Yeah.
can't talk half the time either.
You said
And,
he's
like,
a half elf?
yeah, he's a half elf. He's got the pointed ears, but the human features, other than his blue eyes, which are like iridescent blue, just really bright, glowy. And he walks in, and he like looks over at you, and you two walk in first, and he's just like, "Oh, hey there, Wylee. Hey there, Judge. Do you have And like before he can even get it all the way out, Mercury walks in. He's like, Mercury here today?" And like he just like puts his head down and like starts doodling on a piece of paper while being like, what can I
Oh yeah, she is here today. Look, she's right here. I pick
Meanwhile-
her up.
Guys,
Oh, you're getting all red there. Oh, I'll get you out of the heat.
you must be getting some heat stroke there.
So do we know this? I'm assuming we know this guy's name.
Franklin.
Yeah, his name's Franklin.
Okay.
Franklin.
Riley's finally coming down off of his trip, and he just walks over and slams his head against the counter and goes like, "Franklin, water."
No, his last name isn't Water.
Well, he like puts on his fake best Western accent. Well, I got some water right here, and he like reaches under the counter and like pulls out like a little like pail and
Dish.
dish,
A food dish.
with water in it. Here you go, little kitty.
Riley just slams his face in it. It's full.
And then he like looks back up, makes eye contact with Mercury, and is like, so we got a new.
I tell you what, dear Franklin, we're looking for rations. You know we're on our trip after the show tonight. Are you coming to the show tonight, dear buddy?
I didn't know if I'd be welcome. So.
Oh, of course, dear Franklin. You always give us good deals.
Did Mercury tell you to say that?
I make awkward eye contact with you, and then over to Wylee.
Why would you not ask her?
Wiley lifts this up and like.
Right, I forgot she was here.
Wiley slowly picks himself up and grabs Franklin by the face and just puts it right in front of his face and goes, Frankie. Bad.
He like turns around. He's like,
"You're always welcome at our shows.
Your cat's really affectionate today."
Oh, he got into that nip.
Oh well, he's kind of clawing
You know,
my
Papa
face.
Motherfucker was making some. Down at the bar.
Okay. Now we know that that guy's name.
Doesn't got any of his famous mud fudder pie.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't check it out, but we're right. Wile E. Coyote.
I hope you forgive me, but his pie is unlike any mudderfuddin' pie. Nobody can get the mudderfudder pie recipe right.
Yeah.
And like he's breaking in and out of his like fake Western accent as he's going through, and like He's also got that weird, awkward Minnesotan accent.
Are people in this town Minnesota?
Just
Apparently.
Except for neither of you guys are.
Well, she's too drunk to be Minnesotan, and he's a cat. So everybody just views him as a cat.
Yeah.
Tabaxi is uncommon like crazy.
He's the only
Your
Tabaxi
cat's
in
clawing
the
in
whole
my
city.
beard. You know, I'm trying to get this big bush growing in here. And like you see, like you're just taking
Wiley
chunks
starts
of his
kneading.
beard.
Starts kneading.
He's starting to suspect he can't grow his beard fully because every time you visit, you just take the pieces out. So he's like trying to pet you while also prying you off without offending you.
I grab him by the haunch.
Wiley goes,
Do I get like advantage on rolls to subdue him because I can grab his haunch?
Yeah, because it like
that's
incapacitates him. He's like, I am a kitten.
Yeah.
I just go limp.
Yeah.
You like curl your legs up.
Immediately back to like, I am a kitten being carried by my mother.
I never had a mother. Is this how it feels?
I totally think, by the way, that like in your backstory you were dropped off as a kitten on our tavern doorstep, like abandoned. by
I'd
your
say
parental-
that's pretty good. Yeah,
Your
you
parental
found him in like a
unit. Yeah.
a box.
A box.
Yeah.
With a cute little bow around his neck.
It's like a TV box.
Yeah,
It's
but
for like
you
a
like
toddler.
legit couldn't tell he wasn't a kitten.
My mom gets it for like my birthday. She's like, "Look at it, happy birthday!"
Yeah. And then he grows
I
into
got
this
you a
like
kitten.
talking thing.
Poises thought he was a very smart cat and learned the human language by listening.
Oh, she doesn't even acknowledge you can speak. She's just like, oh, he's making those funny noises again.
And I'm very intellectual.
So is his Assassin's Guild like the basement or something?
It's he assassins rats,
Yeah.
but for some reason doesn't kill them. He's more of a trapassin. Trapassin.
Well, you see, if I kill the rats, they would hate me.
Oh, that's right.
I couldn't handle that.
An assassin who
That's
can't
true.
be hated. All right.
He's a likable
So sad.
assassin.
That's why you
So-
set them free to be You think you're just making them patrons of the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're actually just eating the food.
I like to
They've
think.
got like an underground tunnel network that it doesn't matter what tavern you put them in, they literally go to all the different taverns.
Yeah.
I like to
They're
think
just
that.
slightly inconvenienced, which is why they're such easy prey.
Yeah.
I like to think that in Wiley's quest to make everybody like him, he makes a ton of people hate him because he screws them over.
Yeah. And like surprisingly though, like the rats, like they were scared of you at first,
But now they
then
just
you
come
never
up and like
killed them,
lay
and then
on
realize
me.
you just relocate them. So like it's giving you this false
My-
sense of being a really good.
All my hunting is I go down there, put the cages open up,
And
and
they
they just
walk
walk in.
Yeah.
A couple of them will nuzzle on you.
And then I close. I go, good catch there.
Best assassin ever.
I'll be the master assassin. Yeah.
I beat my time from yesterday.
So, as you guys are sitting here, kind of blushing and discussing things with
Franklin.
Franklin, you hear a bit of a ruckus out of the door, and you see Franklin kind of peeking out there, and he's like, "Oh no!" And before you guys can turn around, you hear the door fly open, and the door flies open with such force that the bell on the door breaks off and hits the ground with a dull thud.
Wiley jumps on it.
Yeah.
Bounces on the bell.
4 people walk in. One of them dressed in these long flowing purple robes in this like huge
Wiley's eyes wide.
purple hat with a long like peacock feather sitting out of it.
Oh snap!
And he's
So is it
covered-
like a pimp hat?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
snap.
exactly. And he's got big gold chains and
Oh.
like gold wrist
no.
watches and stuff, or wrist sundials.
Yeah.
Sundials.
Quick question: are the chains swinging back and forth?
Oh, absolutely.
Wiley's eyes widen.
And behind him are 3 thuggy looking dudes. They're dressed in like pantaloons, but they're like torn and rolled up.
In like net shirts.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they look like they wore nets, and they just draped a net over them like a poncho.
And then cut arm.
And then cut the armholes in them short, so they're like net tank tops.
Yeah.
But they're all ripped. Like their bodies are like ripped. They've got the V going on and abs, and like 2 of them are standing in the back and like in unison, like Terry cruising. They're like boobs.
And Mercury's like slowly getting really wet, but because the water from the dish.
Yeah. Because the water, and like you announce this, and like
it's the
guys, I'm really wet.
I think the dish spilled, and like Franklin's looking down at the dish like, no, it didn't.
Also, I think I've learned from taking care of him when sparkly things come into the room. I just grab.
And the guy comes in, and he's like, "Yo, it's time for you to pay up."
Oh,
and like
shit.
right, and it's about that time you realize it's a freaking dwarf.
Oh.
And so like he's really short, man. And like his 3 dudes are towering over him, but like they're obviously the muscle. And he comes in, he's like, "It's time for you to pay up. Now, you put that money in my hand, and I walk out of here without roughing you up, Franklin. Your dad knew it was time, and he didn't come down last night to pay."
Now,
And-
Franklin, you owe this man money.
And like the 2 dudes who were like flexing their nips in the back are just like, "Yeah," and like
Word up.
word up. But they're like obviously like they like you knew them from like a few years ago. They were like super skinny and like they were like the sons of the
That
baker.
guy's been working out for you there,
Yeah,
buddy.
they were like sons of the baker, like they're twins.
They're twins, but there's 3 of them.
Their names are Ollie and Polly.
If only skateboards existed, because you'd be great at out again.
Are you talking about my mobile flat board? And he like on his back he's got like this holster, and he pulls out this piece of like pine wood that's just got like some like rollers underneath it, but they're really poorly crafted. It's just like round pieces of wood.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's been like riding on too much dirt because there's like rocks jabbed into it. He's like, "I bet I could beat you. I didn't even see you roll, and you a rock." Rock and roll. And like they start flexing their nipples harder.
Do you want 8-inch to get the rocks out of your board there, buddy?
Do I want what?
Do you want 8-inch? You want my 8-inch?
It's a stun pecker.
All right, that's it. And like he kneels down, like one kneel on the floor, and you like see him cup an ear to the dwarf, and you think you hear like just like all 3 of you roll a perception check.
Oh, I was gonna say, do I have advantage since I have cat ears?
If you get it with being a
That's a
tabaxi,
D20.
yeah.
I don't think it. I just have
Yeah,
really
it's a
good
D20.
climbing abilities.
Man.
Did you say perception that I have 0 in?
Yeah.
A 3!
18.
Uh-huh.
20.
All right. So as you're like looking around the room for an excuse to not embarrass yourself, and your cat ears, you both pick up that he's like whispering in his ear that he's just like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna kill this guy." But instead of that, he's like, he broke character, and so he's just like, "Hey, is it cool if I like try I just want to fight that rock." And you see freaking the dwarf like pushes his hand off of his shoulder, and he like just looks up at him. He's like,
He's... Please.
and like the 3rd guy who hasn't done anything yet like comes up with like a little feather duster and like kind of brushes off his shoulder. He's like,
So this dwarf is pristine?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Like
I love
this is
how
a
I was
purple
picturing...
crushed velvet, like purple, like
I was picturing like a human, and then in my mind, as you said dwarf, it
shrunk.
It was so great. It was I've never
his
had
robes
that
are
before. It
draping
was
on the
so
floor
great.
behind
Yeah.
him. He got like human clothes. He wears like a cape and stuff.
That's
Because
so
the
good
people
in
in
my
this
head.
town don't know how to make dwarf-sized clothes.
Yeah.
They only know how to make human and elf-sized clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the same problem, buddy. They don't know how to make clothes for rocks.
What do you mean? You trying to tell me my clothes are wrong? Your clothes be whack.
I don't have clothes.
He doesn't have clothes.
He's without.
Astute observation, son. Now, I'm about to educate all you in the manner of street.
Is this
Oh,
gonna be
did they
extra
open up
credit?
the new school?
I like how we both went to the same joke, that's slightly different.
Yeah. It's called the School of Hard Knocks.
Oh, I know how to do soft
I
knocks,
thought it was
and
called
I do
Bartholomews.
How'd you know I went to Bartholomew's Academy for the Gifted in advance?
You told me
What?
when you were drunk.
It's the only school in this town.
Yeah. All right. Just because my parents sent me because I was gifted in advance does not mean I will not kick your ass up
Literally,
this road.
everybody in this town goes there. They just call it gifted in advance to make people feel better.
Yeah, I'm not really that.
Shut up, cat. What do you know?
I
You lick
also
your
went to
own
the
balls.
school.
All right.
I don't do that.
Listen, I think we've gotten off track.
You're
you
right.
know,
Give me my money.
I've had plenty of bloodshed in my life.
What the shit
Let's-
just happened?
So let's
Like
just.
completely off guard. He's like,
So let's. Can I roll intimidation?
yeah. Go ahead.
That is a 17.
All right, and he's gonna roll like a will save. Yeah, he like kind of crumples back and he's like, you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't need the money yet anyway. I'm gonna come back tonight and get it. You better be here, Franklin, because if you're not, you won't be here in the future.
You should come to our show first.
Oh, obviously, I've been planning that for weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Here's your tickets.
We're gonna
right.
kill it.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it too. And like his eyes widen and like he winks while like flashing his gold tooth at you, but it's not gold. It's like foiled, and you can see like the crevices and stuff on it. It kind of like looses out of place, and like his big buddy from behind like leans down, and just like kind of pushes it back up.
Well, he goes, your tooth is kind of falling out. Try some of this, Mama Poise makes this,
Sorry, keep going.
Mama Poise makes this nice little butter that's very sticky. If you put some on there and put it in, it could stick there and be perfect. Wiley's doing this all the kindness on his heart because he really wants him to like him, so he's trying to be extremely nice.
Yep.
The dwarf, Ollie, Polly, and his unnamed servant all exit out, and you just see the unnamed servant, or
What was
see
the dwarfs? We
Huh?
didn't catch his name.
You didn't get his name.
No. But Ollie
He's
and
the
Polly.
dwarf.
Ollie and Polly both.
We
like,
don't. We know them though. That's right.
You know of them, yeah.
We went to school with them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ollie and Polly like.
I never
both-
went to school, just murder school.
Just the school of death.
Ollie and Polly run back in, and like they're completely out of character now, and they're just like, "Oh, we're really sorry about the bell. Here's a couple copper pieces to get fixed." And then like they run back out, and you just hear like the door like closing behind them. They're like, "Yo, get out of our way!"
God, they're such nice guys.
I think so.
They've always been a blast in school. It was fun.
So
I
you
always
guys-
knew they had a little sugar in their tank.
You guys turn back around to Franklin, and Franklin's just like quivering. He's like, "My daddy don't have none of that money."
Oh, dude, guys, we gotta like help them out. They're gonna kill him.
Wiley picks up a rock from the ground and puts it on the guy. Is that enough?
They need 150 gold, or they say they're gonna burn down the store.
Now why
Well,
would
on the
that?
bright side, you have insurance, right?
Well, we did, but my dad's been gone for 10 days. He hasn't paid the insurance this month.
He must have just got lost on a hunting trip or something, or trading trip, or whatever
Well,
your dad does.
Well, he was going over to Myersport, and he was supposed to be back like 5 days ago.
Now you know, as long as you just careful with your torches, the place won't burn down.
I'm not the one I'm worried about.
Oh, they are clumsy. They are clumsy. You said you needed money there?
150 gold.
Shit.
I don't have 150 gold on me.
I don't have 150 gold on me either.
I actually have 150 gold.
Oh shit.
That's how much soldiers get. I don't think there's any reason why Judge wouldn't give it to him.
Wiley sees him doing it, and Wiley just pushes his hand back. One thing about Wiley, he really likes shiny things, so he really likes gold. So he's like, we have none.
I'll tell you what. If you guys can help me out,
Do you need anybody assassinated?
your cat is still talking to me, and I don't know how to handle it. I can't understand its meows. They don't even sound like meows.
I am speaking common, you know.
Now, Wiley, we talked about this. You know
But
how
I'm just getting
you
tired of
know how
everybody
to
treating me
tell
like a
folk.
fucking cat.
Yeah, we talked about
And
this.
yes, I get spur of the moments, ancestral stuff that just take over my body.
Incestuous.
We did not talk about that.
This is why I said we should get him neutered, guys. Come on.
What would I say? I said ancestral.
Ancestral.
I said that right.
Ancestral.
Human language is so hard for me. All right.
But I'll tell you what. If you can help me out, he tries to like put on a strong Western voice. I got some stores. I got this vial of liquid. I don't know what it does. My dad brought it back on his last trip. He said it was good. He said he tried one and it helped him.
Is it water?
Well, it's blue and glowy. So
it
water.
glows.
it's blue and glowy water.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And
That's
Sparkly.
pretty neat.
Is it sparkly?
It's sparkly.
And
Is it sparkling water?
I know you ordered in your rations for your trip. I'll waive them entirely.
Why does everybody say rations when it's rations?
Your cat is still meowing, and I don't know what he's saying.
I think it's just, you know.
I tell you what, Franklin. You come to the show, the money's yours.
Okay, here, take this. And like he pulls up like the bags he got ready with your guys' rations in it, and he pulls up this like
This is like saying Downtown Abbey.
what?
Instead of Downton Abbey, Downtown
yeah,
Abbey.
exactly.
Rations.
And so he also pulls out this like little red, like dark red wood box, and he opens it up, and it's kind of like a velvet cushion, and inside is this vial of blue liquid with a cork stopper, and it has like the consistency of like liquid mercury, but it's blue and see-through-y. So not okay.
There's a ghost trapped in there.
Ghost.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of my money.
Okay. So do you just hand him the money? All right. And he tears up, and he's like, I
Wylee
can't
also
believe
tears
this.
up.
And he goes and he like gives the cat a hug, and he gives you a hug, and then he goes to give Mercury a hug, and like right before he touches
watch
her,
the spikes.
right before he touches her, he's like, and he like wipes his hands off, and he's like, and he like reaches out his hand for a handshake.
Wylee pushes.
And I awkwardly grab his hand and nervously shake it.
Good luck. And he's like profusely sweating now, and like it's almost like a river of water is coming off, like it's dripping onto the floor.
No, you were just shivering there a little earlier. What's happening?
I must be getting the flu.
I remove my hand and shake off like a bunch of sweat.
Could I like fumble trying to steal back the money because it's shiny things, and accidentally push them into her?
Yeah.
Like
So
I tried to, but I'm still way too high. I'm still coming down off the high, and I just like bump into him on accident.
and he goes in and like ends up like she falls down, he falls on top. It's like that anime scene.
And then
like,
the bell dings again.
yeah, and then like right as that happens, the door opens and it's his father.
It's his fault.
And he's just like, Franklin?
What was their last names?
And like closes the door and just backs back out, and he's like, ah!
Oh, finally, boy, you're finally got that gumption.
You've become
You
a
just
man.
hear, I'll be back in another 10, son.
10 days.
And like he like
Wait,
pushes
wasn't
you
his
up.
dad gone for a long time though?
Yeah, 10 days.
10 days. Come back in another 10 days.
And like he like pushes himself off of you, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and like runs away, and like you just hear him like run up the stairs like into his bedroom and like slam the door.
Wylee just looks so defeated that all the shinies disappeared.
All right,
So we got the rations.
yeah,
How many days rations
Rations
do we
down.
have?
you each got 5 days of rations.
It's a good thing I don't eat.
5
Eh?
days. That's a good thing.
Does he even
So
need
we really
rations?
have more than that.
I just like holding them. Wait, did Franklin leave?
He
Yeah, he ran away.
upstairs. Yeah.
He got really
I-
nervous from touching.
I peek around while saying, "Oh, is there any food for 8-inch here?"
Does he eat rocks?
Woodpeckers don't eat wood; they just peck wood.
Yeah, they peck wood to
They
get
eat
the bugs
bugs
in
in
there.
it.
Bugs.
So your stone pecker, sorry, 8-inch. Your stone pecker gets
But
something
stonepeckers,
else.
yeah.
8-inch will bore into like hard clay and earth and like rocks and stuff to get like grubs and different things.
But we said we
That's
need to
legit.
get food for.
right, and so you need
Yeah.
to get like some
We need to get bugs.
some
for
like
8-inch.
desiccated like bugs and
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
things like
So
that.
I look around the shop.
Right behind the counter, there's like their pet food section, and since it's pretty common for you to buy it, there's actually like a little like one
Okay.
gold piece worth of a bag.
I just
There you
take
go.
it.
Yeah.
Also,
Just
who
take
wrote
it.
down the vial?
I did.
All right.
Yep. because it looks like Mercury, and my name's
Yeah,
Mercury.
there we
so
go.
I'm gonna be in charge of that shit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it. If we find any
Wiley's
huge...
just so depressed about losing all the gold.
Listen, I tell you what, Wylee. If there's something in the store you want, I think it's ours.
All right, yeah. Wiley
There's
looks
some
around.
car keys.
There's some car
There's a
keys.
ball of yarn with some tinsel in it.
Anything else?
Yeah, a ball of tinsel with some.
Wiley goes after the tinsel with the yarn.
Beautiful.
It looks like it was just a cat toy they keep around for you anyway.
There's also actually a Christmas tree all set. It's not Christmas, but there's just one there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He knocks it over. Starts a fire. You guys burn it down anyway.
Oh shit.
Holy shit. Oof.
That's a Fadoofa.
Whoopsie.
Oofda. Alright. No, looking around in there, you find kind of the standard things. There's a couple ladders, some lamps, oil, different mess kits, a couple barrels with unknown things in there, backpacks, an abacus on the counter for counting. There's a couple.
Ones and zeros, you say? I'm a robot.
There's a couple arrows that are there, but they look more like they're for their personal use. They're used.
Okay.
The shafts are kind of splintering a little bit. The heads are dull.
Any fiddles?
The shafts aren't
There
good,
are
and the heads
no-
are good.
There is a hammer and some fishing tackle,
Ooh.
but other than
ooh.
that, that's about it. Other than like your regular like animal feed and food ingredients.
What
and
about
things.
black leather?
There is
Black
no black
leather.
Oh,
There's
damn it.
no black leather to deck you out with. Dang it.
I like to imagine we got like at least like a leg or something.
already.
Yeah.
Like they've been working at like building your costume
Yeah.
for like months,
Yeah.
getting you ready for the tour. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Wiley just doesn't find anything of interest.
All right.
Yeah, so did people just get used to my visage or something like that? They're just, oh, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah.
when I first
Because
When you
you've
first
been
showed up,
in-
you were scary
You've been
as
in the
hell.
town for a couple decades.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're used to like the kids will come up and like swing on you and hang off of you.
Yeah.
And, like, but every once in a while, they'll be
Watch
like,
the spikes now.
Yeah, exactly. They like run up and they like climb the monkey bars on your spikes. And
Yeah.
things. You're like Edward Elric.
Yeah.
Or Alphonse.
Alphonse, yeah.
Yeah.
I just like to imagine that everybody in town just thinks Wiley's a
A cat.
No,
Everybody
no,
just
and
thinks it's a cat.
and nobody recognizes that he speaks common except for
Common.
these two.
Yeah.
They're the only two that talk to him.
Yeah.
This is the campaign's gonna end. It's gonna be like Scooby Doo, where we were just high the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's actually just
He's
a cat.
actually just a cat.
And I was just in the garbage pit or something.
You're like the tape deck player.
Yeah.
That's like it's speaking to me, Scooby. And it's just you press play on a tape.
Yeah.
And your acid trip just feels like years.
Yeah.
You guys, it basically this is just your acid trip. And it's not even drugs. You just had a fever high, and this is a fever dream.
It's my pet cat, and I think he's
Yeah.
he's an assassin, and then like some radio.
Perfect. God,
Goals.
perfect. Well, let's go see Billy,
If
I
that's
guess.
not the twist at the end, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Spoilers before spoilers. All right. So, you guys are off to see Billy.
Time to go see
Billy the Kid.
Wait,
It's about 6 o'clock
Yeah, we see
now.
Billy now,
It's
yeah.
pretty late. Your guys' show starts
Didn't
in
we
2
start
hours.
at
what about our costumes?
I guess we
You
spent
started
some
at noon,
time.
and
What
then
about
it was
our
about
costumes?
3
Are
or
we
4
gonna, like-
before you even left the tavern.
Are we gonna like quick throw on our costumes? Cause we still got our costumes, yo.
You gotta get them.
I know. We gotta go grab them. That's
Let's
after
go get
Billy.
our costumes first.
Oh yeah,
We
Billy
have
will
to
like
show,
that
yeah, we gotta show up looking nice. We can't
Yeah.
just show up in our street clothes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, the tailor is right next door.